You'd think that when faced with sudden danger, we'd all rise to the occasion, acting decisively and bravely, just like the heroes we see in movies. But the truth is far more complex and often more unsettling than we like to admit. Research shows that about 75% of people freeze during emergencies. This isn't a sign of weakness or cowardice, but a deep-rooted primal instinct that takes over when our brains are overwhelmed. In moments of crisis, our social masks fall away, exposing raw, unfiltered instincts and emotions that we rarely see in our everyday routines. We like to imagine ourselves as calm and heroic under pressure, but reality often surprises us, revealing reactions we never expected. Emergencies magnify our deepest fears and impulses, forcing us to confront the truth about who we really are when everything is on the line. The intense pressure of danger can trigger unexpected courage in some, while leaving others paralyzed by fear or indecision. Understanding this wide spectrum of human reactions isn't about passing judgment, it's about learning, adapting, and preparing ourselves for the unpredictable. Emergencies act like psychological X-rays, revealing the instinctual core that lies beneath our everyday personas and routines. This self-revelation can be jarring, even uncomfortable, but it's also a powerful opportunity to anticipate, understand, and manage our reactions when it matters most. By facing these truths head-on, we can better prepare ourselves and our communities for the unexpected, turning vulnerability into resilience. Panic is the most common response to danger, visceral, contagious, and often devastating. When fear takes hold, it spreads rapidly through a group, amplifying anxiety and chaos. Our bodies react instinctively, often before we have time to think, and this can lead to unpredictable outcomes. In a burning theater, panic can turn a crowd into a deadly stampede. The urge to escape at any cost can override our sense of safety, causing people to push, shove, and trample others in their desperate attempt to survive. But not everyone panics. Some freeze, unable to move or think clearly, a survival mechanism that can leave us vulnerable. This paralysis is the brain's way of coping with overwhelming fear, but it can prevent us from taking necessary action. Others act impulsively, driven by adrenaline, sometimes making dangerous choices in their desperation to escape. Quick, unplanned actions can put both themselves and others at greater risk, especially when the situation is rapidly changing. For example, people have jumped from burning buildings, only to suffer fatal injuries that could have been avoided. In the heat of the moment, the instinct to flee can overpower rational thought, leading to tragic consequences. These instinctual, often irrational responses highlight how fear can override logic in the heat of the moment. Our brains are wired to prioritize survival, sometimes at the expense of reason or safety. It's easy to judge from a distance, but in crisis, our brains are wired for survival, not reason. Only by understanding these automatic reactions can we begin to respond more thoughtfully when faced with danger. Understanding these patterns helps us prepare for our own reactions. By learning about our instincts, we can train ourselves to stay calm, make safer choices, and support others when emergencies strike. To truly understand why we act the way we do in emergencies, we need to look closely at the science of fear and how our brains are wired to respond to threats. Deep within our brains lies the amygdala, a small but powerful structure that acts as our internal alarm system. When it senses danger, it instantly triggers the fight or flight response. Our heart pounds, muscles tense, and our bodies prepare for action, often before we even realize what's happening. But in today's world, this ancient survival system can sometimes misfire. especially in complex modern crises where threats aren't always clear. In these moments, we also instinctively look to those around us for cues, following the crowd's behavior when we're unsure what to do. Sometimes this herd instinct can be helpful, like when people move together toward an exit in an orderly way, increasing everyone's chances of safety. But other times it can lead to chaos and tragedy as panic spreads and people rush in the same direction, causing dangerous stampedes. The 2003 E2 nightclub tragedy in Chicago is a stark example. Panic and herd behavior quickly turned confusion into catastrophe with devastating consequences. Poorly designed exits and a sudden surge of fear led to a fatal bottleneck at the doors, trapping people and ultimately claiming 21 lives in a matter of minutes. That's why understanding the science of fear and the dynamics of crowd behavior isn't just academic. It's essential for designing safer public spaces and preventing future tragedies. Knowledge is our best defense in emergencies. By understanding why we freeze, panic, or act impulsively, we can make better choices under pressure. Reflect on your own reactions to stress. Did you freeze, panic, or stay calm? Sharing experiences and discussing strategies helps us all prepare for the unexpected. We can't predict disaster, but by understanding human behavior, we give ourselves a better chance to survive